Check, check. One, two, one, two. Check, one, two. Check, one, two. Whoop. Check, one, two. Well, I gotta stop that. Boom, boom. All right. Get this thing rolling here. Got a different camera angle. Kind of looks weird. Maybe look skinnier. No, I don't think so. Well. All right, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Everyday Joe Show. I'm your host, the Travis Reed. You might have heard of me before. Yeah. Here we are, episode 416, Studio 11, in here all by myself. Man, beautiful. Songbird of our generation. Hanging out by myself. Had a great show last week with Armando and Andrew and Piero. Had a wonderful time. We actually left here, went and watched Josh Prey live at Hop Springs last week after this, and apparently he made such a good showing that there's promoters in Murfreesboro trying to bring him back to other places in Murfreesboro. So good on you, Josh. We're proud of you, buddy. Like we didn't know that they would not want you back. So that's cool. Had a great time with those guys from Canada. Fortunately, we didn't get to see them Friday night. They had a little rental car trouble with the storms. Hope everybody's safe from that. Wild couple days full of storms, and looks like we're gonna get some flooding. I hope not. We're supposed to go shoot some more firecrackers off on Saturday. Today, as you're listening on the radio. All right, let's jump right in, guys. NASCAR returned to Chicagoland for the first time since 2019, I believe. Good race. Decent. A couple dust ups. SVG and Austin Hill getting into it. Love it. Makes me smile. They asked SVG if he's going to talk to Austin Hill about it, and he said, "No. You talk to him, he's kind of grunts." And he's kind of right. Love that. Love that. So that's heating up, guys, and I'm telling you, I've been telling y'all for a while that it's making a comeback. And even, like I said a couple weeks ago, Bussin' with the Boys, they're doing a NASCAR podcast. Everybody, Chicagoland was sold out. Guys, it's coming back, so get on board with it. So enough about that. We got to jump into this. First thing here. Everybody really knows me. Knows that my first sports love is baseball. That is my absolute favorite sport. I love the history of the game. I love the records that get broken of the game. I love perfect games. I love no hitters. I like 1-0 games that are decided on a suicide squeeze or a game-winning grand slam. I just love it. So one of the things about baseball is the history, is the records, is getting your name into the record books. And we had a chance twice this past week for 2 perfect games. Now, perfect games are few and far between. It does not happen a lot. So to get one it's very special. And this young fella played for the Miami Marlins, Yuri Perez. He had retired 21 consecutive batters. He's 6 more. Now, he had come off an injury, and they wanted to save his arm health. And at this point, he'd only thrown 92 pitches. 92. Now he's going for a perfect game. That means nobody gets on base, no errors, no walks, no hits, obviously, no nothing. Zeros across the board for the other team. It's a very special thing in baseball to get a perfect game. 6 outs away, they took him out of the game. Marlins manager Clayton McCullough took him out of the game. Now, I asked a couple of my friends, Hattie and Bubba Whitsett, I said, hey, what do you guys think? And Hatfield's like, well, come off an injury. I kind of agree with it, but you would have to have fought me to get me off that mound as a player. 100% agree. 100% agree. Now, some people are like, oh, well, they got to save his arm for the season. Miami sucks. It doesn't matter. If they get a perfect game, good. They got some kind of publicity. They're not good. Let the man pitch the perfect game, or at least try, then yank him. You had 6 outs. So that was on July 5th. So I'm just shocked. Just like I cannot believe this happened. 3 days later, Pittsburgh Pirates playing the Braves. Now, I don't want a perfect game against my beloved Atlanta Braves. But Jared Jones, 77 pitches against the Braves. Now, he is coming off UCL surgery, which is Tommy John surgery, which is right here in the elbow. Kind of get this a little bit. But 77 pitches. He was on a strict pitch limit. Pulled him after 6 perfect innings. Okay. If you're on a pitch count, you're on a pitch limit, don't put them in the game until you don't have any pitch limits. Let them keep rehabbing. Let them keep throwing bullpen sessions. Let them get in the minors. Do that junk in the minors. That's what the minors is for. The minor league system is for that. To develop players, to rehab players. But you're going to take them out. One of them had 7 perfect innings. He had 6 outs left. 6. He'd get to the 8th inning and the 9th inning. 3 outs each. Do that math. I can't believe I got it right. Jared Jones for the Pirates. He needed 9 more outs to get a perfect game. Okay, now, in Miami's case, they were up 8-0. 8-0. They won the game 8-5. So they about screwed the pooch right there. I mean, come all the way on. Really? You're going to, one of the most sacred milestones in baseball is a perfect game. And the Pirates and the Marlins, within 3 days, completely ruined it. Like, come on. What's up, Jimmy Neutron? What's up, baby? Thank you, mother. Appreciate them stars. If you guys like what you're seeing here on the Facebook Live feed, throw us some stars our way. We really would appreciate it. But we're getting too analytical in this. Now, I found this stat very interesting. From 1901 to 2015, the times a pitcher was pulled from the game with at least 6+ innings of a perfect game. You know how many times that happened from 1901 to 2015? That's 115 years. I didn't do that math. It was on here. I cheated. 0 times. 0 times. None. From 2016 to 2025, in 10 years. You know how many times it's happened? 10 years. 3 times. 3 times in 10 years. I don't know the other one off the top of my head, but let me find out who it is, and I'll give them a dose of it too. This week, you know how many times it happened? Twice in 4 days. We're getting too analytical with the sports. All of the sports, especially baseball. I just saw this stat before we come on the air this evening. Do you know how many 300 hitters there are in Major League Baseball right now? 8. For this season, there are 8 players hitting over 300 right now. How ridiculous is that? 8. Bro. What Will Clark was talking about today. What they're doing, all this weird swinging and using different tools, and bro, get you a bat, go take some BP. That's how you learn. That's how you hit. Get you a bat, go take some BP. But no, we're gonna do this stupid thing with PVC pipes and weird balls and it is weird motions that aren't natural, that have nothing to do with hitting. 0. That's why you have 8 players hitting over 300 right now. And we're almost to the All-Star break. But that might go down before the end of the year. I'd have to look it up. I would safe to say that would be the lowest amount of 300 hitters probably ever. Let's Google that. Least amount. I can't spell. I can't see either. 300 hitters in MLB. It's just in football with. Let's see here. Here we go. All-time low is 6 in 1968, known as the year of the pitcher. Yeah, but you had, Bob Gibson and Koufax, and I mean, you had murderer's row of pitchers that year. You know what I mean? Like, let them start doing steroids again. We'll get some 300 hitters. Come on. 2025 season only had 7 to 8 qualified players league-wide finishing above 300. The peak was 1999, had a high of 55. So let them start doing steroids again. Let's go. Come on. Geez, it's embarrassing. Like, because, and I'll have this question later about, in the next segment, about what sport has the best athletes. And I used to say, baseball to me is the hardest sport. Now, the pitching is not dominant because you're taking them out after 6 innings of perfect baseball. I mean, it was dominant for 6 innings, but you're not letting them be dominant the entire game. Like, it's embarrassing. You take football, for example. You got, okay, it's 3rd and 2. We're on the 10-yard line. The data says we need to throw a screen pass. You know what Vince Lombardi would tell you if you come up with him with that jazz? I can't say it on the radio what he would tell you. You know what Tom Landry, hey, I don't think the man cussed. You know what he would do if you told him some bull crap like that? He'd tell you get on with that mess. He'd say, hey, you know what happens if you take your top lip and your bottom lip and you put it together? You shut the up. Because that's what he'd tell you to do. We're getting too analytical. Sports is about feeling, being a manager, being a coach is about your gut. It's about knowing your players. If we're going to analytical, you can just take any old nerd, and yeah, I said nerd, and put them out there. And just let the computer coach. No. AI is great. I use it all the time for doing graphics for the show and this, that, and the other. But baby, that ain't where it's at. You got to have humans running these sports. You got to have it. You don't have AI selecting actors to be in a movie. They try out, they do what they do, they go and they do it. You don't have AI, I hope not, hiring folks to work at parts stores that other parts stores try to buy because they want us to come back. You don't have AI doing that. You don't have any numbers and data and analytics. And it's getting too much. This is sports. It's stick and ball, man. That's all it is, stick and ball. And you go to the NASCAR thing, and they got all these. Everybody can read the SMT data, and every team can read everybody else's. Stop that. Stop letting everybody see it. That's why you don't have drivers who are getting better than the other driver. They're all the same. That's what you're doing. We don't want all the players to be the same. We want them to be different. That's the point of it. But no, he's got a perfect game. Let's take him out. He's only thrown 77 pitches. Well, honey, if he's only going to throw 77, put him back in the minors to rehab some more. That's on you. That's your fault. You screwed that kid up. My goodness. And these players, all these Tommy John surgeries, do some stretching, do some exercises. Something's up with this. I don't know. Lift a weight. Hire a trainer that specializes in that type of movements and stuff. I mean, that's like when Jordan went from basketball to baseball. He had to retrain his entire body. He had to do entirely different workouts to get a baseball body versus a basketball body. Hire a private pitching coach trainer that will help you get a pitching body. I don't know. Somebody's doing it wrong. The Marlins and the Pirates did it wrong. I mean, that is embarrassing. Embarrassing. And then they only have 8 players hit 300 or better right now. That is, Tony Gwynn would roll over in his grave right now. It's getting out of hand. We're going to have to knock this off. This is ridiculous. It's like, oh man, get off my lawn. Get off my grass. But anyhow, I just had to talk about that. That was, beyond ridiculous that you ruined 2 perfect games because of the coach's decision. Not because of the player's decision, not because he was getting rocked. Because, he's pitched enough. He's thrown 77 pitches. Let's take him out. Come on, man. You missed me with that crap right there. That's junk. That's worse than going to a Bowman meeting in Manchester. Good Lord. Don't get me started on that. My goodness. All right, anyhow, we're going to take our first break of the evening. I got to adjust my little AC under this table because it's not touching me. I don't like it. I'm getting hot. We're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk about the World Cup. The USA fell short. We're going to talk a little bit about soccer players, a little WNBA news, have your Common John update, lunchtime theater, Joes of the week. And then we'll have a burning question for all you listening at home and on the road. Then we'll wrap this thing up. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. There we go. That's better. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck, episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, Hangout Studio 11. Got my air conditioner fixed underneath the table here. Feel better. I don't know what had happened but it messed it up. We just got done chastising Major League Baseball for absolutely doing some dumb crap, pulling 2 pitchers out that had perfect games going. I promise you, these hands are rated E for everyone. And if I was one of those pitchers, somebody caught some hands. Somebody. That is beyond ridiculous. All right. So World Cup is still going on. Unfortunately, USA falls short against Belgium. It looked like they weren't even trying. They were. I know they were. I think when fans say it looks like the team wasn't trying, it's just a bad showing from the team. It's not we don't think they were trying. It looked like they weren't. They were not ready to play. I think they let the hype get to them. A lot of them are chastising, what's his name, Polsnik. saying, he come out of the game, he should have kept playing. I mean, if Cat was injured, then he was injured, but, old son should have stayed in, tried to do something. It was sad, but it was a good run. It wasn't the best run we've had. I feel like we missed out on opportunity to have the best run that the men's soccer team has had ever. I think we just missed it. Belgium could have been beaten. They will be beaten. I think we were the ones that should have done it and could have done it. It was a fun ride. It was cool. I'm still watching the World Cup, not as intensely as I was, but I'm still paying attention to it. It's worth watching. Even if you don't like soccer, if you're just a casual sports fans, still give it a look, man. It's very exciting. And I'll tell you, I'm really digging these videos of these Europeans and whatnot that came over to America to watch the games, watch their country play, and just how much they're falling in love with America. I think that is super neat, super cool. I've seen mostly, positive reviews and positive videos praising Americans, showing the love, and that makes me feel good. That and that just goes to show you that, all what you see in the media is not the truth. We are welcoming these people to our country. We're giving them rides to their hotels when they don't have one, and they don't know who they are. They're just giving them a ride. Man, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. So good on you, all the fans who are treating these fans of the other countries with respect and being welcoming. It's super cool. It sounds cliche, but it kind of warms your heart. You're like, you know what? I knew this country it's a good place to be, and it is. So don't let the gloom and doom media portray it as it being bad. Now, there's some bad stuff in here. Yeah, sure, we know that. We're not idiots and we're not blind, but it's probably not as bad as everyone's making out to be. So good on you guys for showing the love to our brothers and sisters coming over from Europe and other countries. That's really awesome, man. It's really good to see. So keep watching. I've almost got all the World Cup cups from McDonald's. I'm still missing a couple. So if anybody's got some they want to trade out, I've got a few duplicates, if you will. If I get another Grimace one, I'm gonna lose my marbles. I got to figure out a way on the packaging to see which one it is, but I haven't got that far because I don't care that much. But I will say this, and I spoke on it a couple weeks ago, that soccer players look like when a player gets near them, it looks like they've been shot by a sniper because they just go down. Dude, soccer players are soft. Now, do I consider them one of the elite athletes in the world? Absolutely. They're constantly running and sprinting and only can use their feet, sans the goalie. It takes a skill set I would never, ever, ever be able to hone or to do. Not even as a youngster. I don't think I could have done it. I was too bull in a china shop. But, dude, they are so soft. Like, I understand, they're trying to get an advantage for your team, but you're looking dumb, boys and girls. I don't think, and I don't mean this sexist, but I don't think women soccer players flop as much as the men. Y'all flopping more than Braun. Like, it's embarrassing, is what it is. Like, bro, be tough. Like, I know that. I know when somebody kicks your shin, even though you got some shin guards on, and they're not very big, I know it's gonna hurt. I know it hurts your shin. But guys, some of these you barely getting touched. Now, getting your ankle stepped on and your calf stepped on, I know it hurt. I'll give you those. And it seems like the refs are letting them play to an extent, except for the red card that our boy got the other night, and thank goodness they rescinded the suspension because that was a bullcrap call on our guy there. I'm glad he got to come back and play. I wish things would turn out differently, but you were going to rob that kid of getting to play in the next round for whatever reason. Just a bad call. I don't think it was malicious or anything. It was just a bad call. But you guys have got to stop being so soft because, once again, like I said, embarrassing. You're showing these kids that are playing the game to be soft, to act like something's hurt when it's not. You know, when back in my day, I'll go Uncle Rico on you, but we watch videos and stuff of the tough guys, of the Larry Zonkas, of the Mike Singletaries, of the Lawrence Taylors, where we got hit, and we kept going. You know, the baseball players get hit by a pitch, get your hind end up, go on. It's getting out of hand, like completely getting out of hand. So, kids, if you're watching this World Cup and this soccer, just don't pay attention to the fouls, man. Just watch the beauty of the passing, the beauty of the shots, the beauty of the saves, the corner kicks, the penalty kicks. You know, watch that. Don't pay attention to the fouls because it's atrocious, man. Like y'all got to stop that. So that kind of like made me think about this. What sports have the best athletes? You know, and I asked Hatfield and Bubba and Eli and Tooth, you know, what they thought. And Eli said NHL, because, you know, and I put the big four up there. I put NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL. And Eli said NHL, and I tend to agree with him to a point. You know, I don't know what it is. So I'm asking the question, you know, convince me why or who. NHL, you know, with ice hockey, you're literally skating on ice, hitting a little black biscuit with a skinny little stick. You're having to do this while skating on ice, and then you can fight. And when you fight, you're still fighting on top of ice. Like, that is amazing. And hockey is one of those sports that until you really, I mean, it's fun. I love watching it on TV. I watched it on TV as a kid before the Predators were even a thing around this area. It was just impressive. They were skating and doing it on TV. Then you go watch it in person, you're like, these guys, I mean, they're a little taller because they're skates, but these guys ain't small. And they're doing all this, man. It's impressive. Hatfield, he kind of said soccer. And I can't disagree with him. Like I was saying, I mean, these guys are running and spreading for 90 minutes plus, you know, with stoppage time. A lot of these guys play the whole game. And Bubba, I mean, you'll get a break every now and then, but you're still running and jumping, and it's become a contact sport, except for the non-contact where you flop. But guys are, for lack of a better term, they're boxing out like you do in basketball. You're leaning on another person. That takes a physical toll, man. Those are some athletes, amazing athletes. NBA, you know, those guys are 6'6" Their verticals are out of this world. They play above the rim. They're fast. They're you know, basketball is a contact sport, and once again, there's a lot of flopping in basketball that we need to clean up. I'll take care of it when the season rolls around. I'll make some calls. That's impressive. I've not got to see an NBA game in person. I really want to go. You know, baseball, it's the hardest sport. They hit a ball that's rolling 100 miles an hour towards you, 60 feet 6 inches, and you got to think in milliseconds what the pitch is, where the pitch is going to be. Am I doing an inside-out swing? Am I pulling? Is it inside, outside, high, low? Is it curveball, slider, fastball, changeup, knuckleball, split ball? What is it? You know, you got to process that so quickly. And they play 162-plus games a year, counting spring training, and then postseason if they're lucky enough. And so they have to be on 6 days a week. You know, that's mental stress. And then the discipline to hit the ball and do what they do. Man, goodness, it's insane. Tennis, that's another cardiovascular sport where you are standing still for a minute, and then you're short burst all over this court. Pickleball, same thing. I said pickleball. I'm kidding about pickleball. Let's see, UFC. If you sit and think about UFC, the cardio that they have to have, because once again, you're leaning on another human being. You're punching, you're blocking punches. You're trying to get them not, to be in you're being in a defensive position sometimes, trying not to get taken down, and you're having to. That's a lot, man. Boxing, same way. The sweet science, golfing. You still have to train. It's a different muscle set. It's a different mindset. Golf is one of the most humbling sports there is, 100%. NASCAR, hey, dude. Once again, one of the harder ones because you're traveling 180 miles an hour with 36 other cars, a few inches from each other, and it's 130 degrees inside the car where you got a fire suit on. Yeah, you got cool suits, but they don't work half the time, and you've got boiling hot water running all over you. Yeah, you got a helmet fan, a helmet tube. Okay, what about the rest of your body? What about your feet getting burnt because the bottom of the car is so hot you can literally fry an egg? There's no air conditioning in those things. So that's another thing. So which one is the hardest sport to do? Or what am I missing? Am I missing something? I tend to think the big four, to me, NHL is probably one of the hardest ones. NFL, I didn't even hit that. I mean, you're having a car wreck every 45 seconds. You're getting your bell rung. You got to remember, if you're on offense especially, you got to remember 150-plus plays that change every week. You got to know what you do. You got to know what they do. If you're on defense, you got to know what everybody on offense, they're going to do that, and that guy's probably going to do that. If you're on offense, the defense, it's zone coverage, it's man coverage. You got to... Bro, that's mental plus the physical because they got to work out every single day. They practice 3 days a week. Not as hard, but they're out there. Are they the better athletes? Because, Shannon Sharp made a good point. When at the combine, in the NBA combine, when they're doing their vertical, they do a running jump. Football, it's standing. Plus, they've got way more muscle on their body. Predominantly. And they got, 12 pounds of pads on them? Goodness gracious. That's a difficult one. Who has the best athletes? And if you want to go to WWE, it's predetermined, but it is it's a physical activity. It's a physical sport. They may be some of the best ones because they're 6'6", 300 pounds, and they're jumping over guys that are 6'6", 300 pounds. They're jumping in there doing drop kicks. They're jumping from the top rope. They're jumping off ladders. They're just landing on the tables. They have to be spot on almost every single move, or they hurt the other performer, and they have to have this other performer in order for them to perform in order to make money. So, you got to think about yourself, your safety. More importantly, the person you're working with, their safety. Then you got to talk at the drop of a hat and make sense in front of a live crowd, plus millions watching at home. Man, that's a hard one too, which, they're all, and that's why they're professional sports. You have to be professional. So which one's the hardest? NHL and soccer, they're up there for me. Or which one has the best athletes? Soccer, NHL, and to me, it's not a professional league, but it is entertainment, and that's what all sports are. Sports are entertainment. That's what it is. Charlie Jones, he's late and out of town. What's up, baby? I'm discussing right now which professional sports league has the best athletes. So, you got all these factors with all these different sports, and they're all different, and that's what makes them great. And like I said, it's all entertainment. That's why I've never really cared what some athlete's political view was or whatever, because I spend my money to watch these games for you to entertain me for when the clock starts and stops. From the first pitch to the last pitch. That's to the green to checkered. From the opening bell to the last bell. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for the entertainment value of it. I'm not paying for other stuff. I don't care. None of us should care. We shouldn't care what celebrities' political views are. I don't care. Make a movie, make me laugh, make me cry. Let me have the suspension of disbelief for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Make me feel like this movie you're making is real. Then you got me. Then I'll pay money again. That's what it's for. It's not for anything else. I don't care. Doesn't matter. So which one has the best athletes? I'm gonna say NHL soccer, and I'm gonna hot take WWE. I mean, they got to be on all the time. So what say you? Throw it in the comments. Send us a note. Who do you think? Which pro sports league has the absolute best athletes? I think it's a great debate, and I think it's a debate you can have for years to come, for days to come. It's subjective to what to what your opinion is, and sometimes what your favorite sport is, and what you respect the most. So let us know what you got. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. We got some NBA news, silly stuff, and I'm sure we'll backtrack. We'll circle back to some of this. Who has the best athletes in pro sports? We got your Common John update coming up. We got your lunchtime theater, your Joes of the week, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. It's episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out, Studio 11. Studio 11 Productions. That's the name of it. Quit stealing my stuff, people. Quit stealing my stuff and other people quit trying to pay $10 billion to get me to come back. Just stop. Unless you're going to cut me a check for $10 billion, then I'm down. I'm not down. All right, so Jimmy on the Facebook Live feed, or Jimmy Neutron, he says, woo! So I think he's going with WWE having some of the best athletes in sports. I can't disagree. You can hate sports all you want. You can hate wrestling all you want. Oh, it's fake, it's fake. Do it. It's not fake, it's predetermined. It's a different thing. You still have a physical activity that you're doing inside the ring. Lives have been cut short. Lives have ended. Careers have been cut short. Injuries have happened. It's going to happen. But I cannot disagree with Jimmy on that. If that's what he's saying, I believe it is. So I can't disagree with you there, Jimmy. That is an educated answer. It's a correct answer. I'm with you. I'm down. All right. So the WNBA is stepping on their again. So the All-Star voting has come out, and the WNBA players ranked Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard in the league during the 2026 All-Star starter voting. Okay, now, is Caitlin Clark one of the most polarizing figures in the WNBA? Yes. Has this show ever spoke of the WNBA before Caitlin Clark? Maybe once. Has all the other bigger shows spoke of the WNBA? Not many times. All these people are talking about the WNBA now because of her. We know who Angel Reese is because of Caitlin Clark. Now, would we know Angel Reese if Caitlin Clark didn't exist? Probably, but not as soon as we did. All right, like Asia Wilson, fantastic player. We'd have known who she was. But Sophie Cunningham, would we know who Sophie Cunningham is if it had not been for Caitlin Clark? Possibly. Probably not. All these other players, will we know who they are if it hadn't been for Caitlin Clark? No. Is Caitlin Clark the best guard in the NBA, in the WNBA right now? Statistics-wise, no. What's up, Stephen Hargrove? How you doing, buddy? Statistic-wise, Caitlin Clark is not the best guard in the WNBA right now. She's the most polarizing. Do all of the WNBA players need to thank her for the money they're making now? Yes, 100%. Now, they weren't doing, for a living, they weren't on the poverty line. As far as professional athletes, was it on the low? Yeah, it kind of was a little bit low. I thought a lot of their salaries would have been a little more. But you have to have people in seats to be able to pay them more. Caitlin Clark is there now. Now she's there, and now there's people in seats. They've had to move home games to away games into other arenas because they sat more people to get tickets sold, more tickets sold because the demand was so high. Now, does that mean she should be a starter at the All-Star game? No. Does 21 points and 8 assists per game, does that say she should be a starter in the WNBA All-Star game? Not necessarily. Is it bad? No. No, it's not. Now, do I feel like she's getting treated unfairly? She got the fist in the throat, a lot of hard fouls. There is some jealousy. Has to be some jealousy. I've never seen anything like it. You know, I'm not saying you got to make Caitlin rules like the rumor was with the Jordan rules back in the day. But I'm going to tell you what, man, the Pistons beat Jordan to death. Beat him to death because of jealousy. That's all it was. Isaiah is still jealous to this day. Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, is still jealous to this day of Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael ain't letting his foot off the gas either. He's still firing it up, and I don't blame him. I would too. Be petty. If Isaiah's going to be petty, he be petty. But the entire league is being petty. Candace Parker, Hall of Famer, former Tennessee Volunteer, Lady Vol, she says that's just factually incorrect based on statistics and obviously where the Fever are at because I don't think they're doing that great. So I would say to the players, y'all letting your personal feelings factor into this decision clearly. I think it's questionable to say the least. I 100% agree. Now, I'm not saying you have to bow down to Caitlin Clark. That's just not what athletes do. You play her just as hard, if not harder, because she is so good, as you would anyone else. You don't give her the benefit of the doubt. You don't give her an inch. You do not give her an inch. But you don't put your fist in her throat. You don't vote her as the 11th best guard in the league. Yeah, exactly. Stephen Hargrove said on the Facebook Live feed, so Clark is drawing attention, let her cook. I agree. Let her cook. What can this league be because of Caitlin Clark? What other kid, young girl out there is going to start playing basketball because of Caitlin Clark? A bunch. They already have. And she's in Indiana, arguably one of the biggest basketball states in the country. That is the state sport, is basketball. She's in the hotbed. Like, let her do her thing. Don't give her accolades she doesn't deserve. I'm not saying she deserves to be a starter based on her stats. Now, are her stats good? Yeah, absolutely they're good. Are there some better? I don't know. Probably. But the 11th best guard in the league, come on, that's a joke. That is a complete joke. And I don't know what it is about her that they just don't like. Like, she's the reason you're getting so much more money. Like, yes, all of you had something to do with it. But she's why. And I'm not saying you have to like her. You don't have to be chummy with her. But you got to respect how good she is. You got to respect what she's doing for the league. You got to respect what she's doing for you. So if you voting her as the 11th best guard in the WNBA is embarrassing. That's the word of the night. It's embarrassing. See, Hargrove, I appreciate you agreeing with me, brother. Thank goodness. And I think a lot of people agree with that. Some of them are just too scared to say it. I'm not saying I'm going out on a limb here. I'm not saying that by no means. But I think some people in the mainstream media on bigger platforms are scared to say it. Well, I don't want to. You're calling a spade a spade. That's jealousy, plain and simple. She's better than the 11th best guard in the league. I'm sorry. She is. Once again, I'm not saying she's playing the best right now. Is she one of the? Is she the most talented? That's a good argument. She could be. Very well could be. But this has got to stop, or your league is going to fold. Your league was in shambles before she got there. I mean, absolute shambles. They were begging the WNBA for the NBA for more money. They're begging the players of the NBA to buy into the teams. They're begging the NBA players to come to their games so more people will come. You are begging players of another league to show up so people could see them, not your players. So when you got the best player, one of the best players in the league and on the planet right now, showing up, instead of promoting her, you're promoting other stuff. You're idiots. Complete idiots. This is your cash cow. This is your opportunity to put some money in the bank to pay these salaries. This is it. You may not get another opportunity like this. Like I said, there are girls, young girls, looking up to her. And if they see how she's getting treated, excuse me, they may not want to play, because what if they got that good? Are they going to be treated the same way? That may discourage them from playing, and it's your fault. It's y'all's fault. So if this league tanks, if it goes out of business, I'm not going to blame it on the 20 years prior, 30 years, whatever it was, 35 years prior. I'm not going to blame it on that. I'm going to blame it on the now. Because you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're stepping on your own. And that's on y'all. It's ridiculous. That would have been like the NBA not promoting Jordan in the mid to late 80s. When he, and don't get me wrong, Magic, Bird, Dr. J, Neek, Isaiah, all those people helped the NBA come out of their slump. But they all know who the ringleader was, and that was MJ. These girls, you're right, Stephen Hargrove, she is setting a precedent. But you're stepping on, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. Because of ego. Because of something else. You're getting paid. Don't be stupid. If it goes under, it's going to be y'all's fault. Because you let this crap go on. And that's on you. Completely on you. And I'll tell on you, is what I'll do. I'll tell everybody. Everybody listen to me. I got to clap lightly because my camera's on the table and I keep shaking until I clap. So, WNBA, get your ducks in a row. Get your head out of your hind ends. And just quit being mean to that girl. And like I said, I'm not saying treat her like kid gloves. Everybody needs to play her hard. You have to play her harder because she's better than you. But some of this stuff is just ridiculous. And voting her the 11th best guard in the WNBA is absolutely asinine. That is some of the dumbest crap ever. That would be like not the players not voting for Jordan when he played to be an all-star, to be and I know they didn't vote on MVP, but to say that he's not the best to ever do it. To say he's not the GOAT. Say he's not the GOAT. Say LeBron is. Say it. Say Kobe is, because you're wrong. Way wrong. LeBron may have the stats, but he's played for 37 years. Jordan's the GOAT. They would not have done Jordan like this. They know better. They know they did not bite the hand that fed them. They are biting the hand that feeds them 100% right now. And for what reason, I have no idea. I get the players sometimes playing her harder, but that's ridiculous, voting her 11th best. And the league's just letting them just run her over. Go ahead and foul her. She's tough. Yeah, she has to be tough. She does flop sometimes. I'll give you that. She does flop. But anyhow, there's my rant about that. Boy, I'm just arguing with. I need something. I don't know what I need. I need to calm down. My blood pressure gonna be high. All right, we're gonna take another break. We come back. Got your Common John update for the week. We got a little lunchtime theater. Got a little music question for you later, and we'll have Joe's of the week. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. It's episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out in Studio 11. Got her feeling good in here. Enjoying talking and going off on some sports. I'm having a wonderful time doing it. I've called out the WNBA. I've called it the Miami Marlins. I've called it the Pittsburgh Pirates. Y'all are idiots for taking those two young kids out for they were pitching perfect games, and you took them out. Twice in a week this has happened. In 115 years, it happened 0 times. The last 10 years has happened 3 times, and 2 of them in the last 4 days. Stupid. So, let's get to the Common John. Right now, going on, the stand-up comedy show at Common John Brewing Company. 2 shows, 7 and 9, so you probably got just enough time to get there. Right now, as you listen to this on 93.9 The Duck. A lot of good stuff been happening there at Common John. Every Sunday, you got World Tavern Poker free to play. Go to www.worldtavernpoker.com to sign up. It is free to play. First game starts at 12. Also, I'll be there for this. Peach Truck be there at 3 p.m. on Sunday. If you never had peaches from the Peach Truck that goes to Common John, and it goes all over, you need to go get these peaches. Absolutely. Pause. Charlie Jones, you're right. She does need to channel her inner bad boy like the Pistons back in the day. I agree. Stephen Hargrove, he says, I don't feel like it's a GOAT situation. She's extremely talented. Some are better. In certain situations, she has handled herself well. 100% agree with that, dude. And I know you, Stephen, and you know me. Somebody would have called hands right there on some of them fouls. Bro, we grew up in a different time. Charlie, I feel like you would have been on board with that as well. Somebody would have caught hands. And Charlie, if she played for the Pistons back in the day, they would have caught her hands. I guarantee it. All right. Mug Club Day was yesterday, the 10th. I need to go to that. I need to go. Don't forget, guys, they have changed their hours. Taproom hours 10 to 10, Wednesday through Saturday. Sundays, it is, I believe, 10 to 7. So, reminder, they have changed the schedule. There are no events on the schedule for Friday night. Just cold beer, great food, perfect excuse to kick off the weekend. Absolutely. Every Wednesday night, we got Singo at Common John Brewing Company. Thursday night, as usual, karaoke with Sugar Shane and Back Porch Productions. Go check that out. If you feel like being a rock star for an evening, go check it out there at Common John Brewing Company. Don't forget, guys, we got to make a road trip down to Common John Brewing Company in Pulaski. They've got some big stuff going on down there, man. They got some turf installed outside, just like the one here in Manchester. It looks super sweet. I cannot wait to get down there. Shame on me for not getting down there yet. I'm sorry, LeBron. I still love you. Did you see they had my old food truck open at Common John this past weekend? They were serving some hot dogs out of there. They got looking good, man. Noah was manning it. So that's cool. Good to see that baby back open again. Good on y'all, man. Hope y'all put that thing to some good use. I had some good times in there. Dang good times. Don't forget, Common John, we got the Rhiannon, the Fleetwood Mac tribute rescheduled. We got Freebird, the Leonard Skinner tribute band coming up. So we got all kinds of stuff coming up at Common John Brewing Company. 210 Woodbury Highway. Y'all go check them out. If you hadn't been, don't know what your problem is. That's on you. We'll call you out right here in front of everybody. All right, there's your Common John update for the week. Stephen and Charlie, if you're all still listening, I was going to ask this later, but since y'all here, I'm going to ask it now. So, songs, there are songs that people consider anthems. You know, like Freebird is to me, a Southern rock anthem. Let's see. I mean, California Love, Dre Day, Snoop Dogg, those are Gin and Juice. Those are rap anthems. You know what I mean? Like, and there are different ones. Stuff from Biggie, stuff from Pac, Too Short. They're anthems. Country, Friends in Low Places. That is a country anthem. What is your rock and roll / heavy metal anthem? That if you were to get a hold of someone that has never listened to rock and roll, heavy metal, they've been lost in the jungle their whole life. First of all, we know how that happened and why it happened. Second of all, what heavy metal, rock and roll song would you introduce them to? Let's say, look, this is what this music is about. I asked Bradley Ramsey this question today, and asked my daughter. Hope said for this generation, or for her, it would be like an Enter Sandman. I asked Bradley, and he said for this generation, he would pick Enter Sandman, but overall, he would pick Paranoid by Black Sabbath. He said anything by Black Sabbath, since they are considered, quote, the godfathers of heavy metal, that's what they would go with. That's the anthem that they would show someone who has never listened to rock and roll, hard rock, heavy metal. There's so many good ones. You could, and I'm going to include all genres, the British new wave of heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, because to me, they're genres, but they're styles. Like rock and roll and Southern rock. I mean, you could lump them together as rock. It's derived from country, derived from blues, stuff like that. It's all derived from, way back in the day. So what would y'all's, if y'all are still on here, they probably tuned me out by now. What's y'all's anthem? Your rock and roll heavy metal anthem. I think anything by Black Sabbath, War Pigs, Paranoid, anything like that would be a great anthem to show someone who's never listened to heavy metal, hard rock. And Steven, you've got a very eclectic palette when it comes to rock and roll and heavy metal. I would be interested to see what you say about this one. Me, I'm pretty bland. I'm pretty straight and narrow. I'm with Bradley on the Paranoid, the Black Sabbath stuff. Maybe some. Of course, I'm biased. I'm going to say anything Metallica. I'll go with some Iron Maiden, even. Some. Even if we want to skip the Black Sabbath and go like straight to Ozzy, some of that stuff is good. If we want to get to the new stuff, newer stuff, like Pantera will be a good starting for some of them, just because of Dimebag, really. And some of those vocals are great, but Dimebag's guitar playing was just insane. Here we go, Steven. Here we go. All right, Tooth Grinder, The Shadows. That guitar riff is captivating. It is for everyone. I'm gonna write that down. I don't think I've heard Tooth Grinder, The Shadows. So I knew Steven would pull that one. Like I said, he's got an eclectic metal background, where me, I'm very bland and stay the straight and narrow. I won't say the easy heavy metal, but I wasn't exposed to some of that good stuff like Steven was. They didn't get to me, buddy. They didn't get to me. I'm just kidding, man. Charlie, if you're still listening, I'd like to get your take on that one too. That'd be I think it's a great topic for a music show. Have a couple different. They do a cover of The Chain. Bubba, I'm gonna check this out as soon as this show's over. Like that's exciting right there. My mom, she says Ozzy. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. There's a lot of Ozzy has a plethora of fans, whether it started with Black Sabbath or where it started with just his solo stuff in the early to mid '80s. Not a bad one. Some people would say AC/DC. I don't consider AC/DC metal. I consider the hard rock. or rock. So I mean, you can lump it in there, sure. That's a good one. You know, some people think differently than I do, and that's fine. It's a very subjective list. It's just your opinion on it. No right or wrong answer. Right answer is Metallica. But I think it would be good to have like a panel or just some folks, you know, a country music fan, a rap fan, a heavy metal fan, like a southern rock, you know, not oldies rock, but you know what I mean, like you know, Seeger, Marshall Tucker, Eagles, you know, somebody, a fan like that of that genre, that's their wheelhouse, and kind of just see where everybody comes, because it's funny. People in all that like all these genres and that stay just with the genre, like heavy metal, hard rock, or country, or whatever, they know other songs, and they'll secretly listen to other songs. And like me, there's some songs I listen to. I'm not telling nobody. You know, and it would just be interesting to get their take on it. You know, just to see what would, you're a country fan, but what would your heavy metal anthem be? What's your opinion on that? Because it's just an opinion. It's not right or wrong. It's just talking, and you're just talking about music. You know, it's just having a conversation. Charlie Jones, he says his anthem might depend on the day. He said could be Master of Puppets, could be Hangar 18, both bangers. Steven's done threatened me come over here and starting a mosh pit. He's getting fired up, man. You gotta be careful. I've seen you mosh, Steven. I don't want no part of that. I'm too old. I'm way too old, buddy. Yeah, Charlie, those are absolutely fire songs. 2 bangers for sure. He says he's digging Take No Prisoners right now. I don't think I've listened to that one yet. Or I don't remember it. That's a lot of things, man. Somebody was like, hey, man, you remember the song by Megadeth called blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, no, I don't remember that one. And I'll look it up, and I'm like, yes, I know that song. Just because I just forgot the name of it, or I didn't know the name to begin with. I'm just like, man, this is a great song. What is this? So, yeah, that one's escaping my mind at the moment, Charlie. Yeah, I think it would be just a great science experiment to see what everybody were think, and then you could turn the tables on it, and then in the same conversation, ask what's your country anthem, what's your rap anthem, and just get everybody's opinion on everything. And I think that would open the eyes, because it does to me when I talk to Derek about music, or Bradley or somebody else, some stuff. You know, a long time ago, Bradley gave me Machine Head. He's like, hey man, listen to CD, track number 4, listen to it. I didn't know they put a new album out. This has been 15, 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'd have never known if he hadn't have told me. And I think, see, Steven said he's going to break out some Duran Duran. Man, I will jam to some Duran Duran. I mean, 100%. Hungry Like the Wolf, baby. I'll do it. You know, Chris Isaak, Wicked Game, I'm down for that song. I will sing that thing at the top of my lungs. I don't need to, but I will. But I think when you have conversations about music, it's one of those ones where you if you have fans of different genres, you always find a new song, find a new band, and it's great to have those conversations. Because now I'm getting out point in my life where I listen to a rap song, and the next thing I'm listening to, you know, a country song. I listened to the new unreleased Waylon Jennings song the other day, Diamonds. Fantastic song. It's on his Shooter found a bunch of tapes that Waylon had hidden in a storage building or whatever. And, you know, it's a banger. Glenn Campbell's on guitar, and the whole album comes out, I think, November. But they've released Diamonds as a single. Check it out, man. It's really good. Steven's 99 Ways to Die, Megadeth, another one. Absolute banger. I don't think you can go wrong, man. Throw Megadeth into that heavy metal. They are they're champions of it. They champion heavy metal every day of their lives. Absolutely love it. So if you got one, throw it down there in the comments for us. Send us a note. What's your hard rock heavy metal anthem? It'd be interesting to see what it is. All right, guys, take another break. We come back. What we got next? We got Lunchtime Theater. Boy, I got a doozy that I watched the other night. I purposefully did not play. I didn't race online. I didn't play my game on my phone. I just watched this documentary on Netflix, and Lord have mercy, it was disturbing. Marie Gentry chimed in on Facebook Live. Why you by yourself? I just want to be by myself. And she likes Janis Joplin. Hey, that soulful singer right there. Soulful. And a lot of guys and gals got to remember, this hard rock heavy metal, it came from soul. It came from the blues. That's where all this stuff come from. It's just a progression, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So we come back. We got Lunchtime Theater. We got Joe's of the Week. And then I got to come up with another something else to talk about because I stole my last segment from this one because Stephen and Charlie were on. I want to get their thoughts before they clocked out. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. Let's see if I got another note in here. Do not. I'll have to find something. I'm going to figure it out, boy. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck, episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out Studio 11, all by myself. I killed it every time. We've been talking sports. We've been talking music. I've been arguing. I've been calling people out. I'm gonna take it. No, I'm calling this girl out. So, Lunchtime Theater, the other night, like I said before the break, I didn't race online. I didn't play my stupid little game on my phone. I just watched a documentary from green to checkered, uninterrupted, and just absorbed it because I hadn't watched a good one in a while. And I don't know if I classify this one as a good one or a shocking one, but it's called Maternal Instinct. If you haven't watched it, I'm not sure if you should. I won't even call her, this person, I don't know if I have ever witnessed such derangement in a person in a documentary in my entire life. Now, you could look at her and she had the crazy in her eye, you know what I mean? Like, you can look at a person, man or woman, and go, they got something. Something ain't going to the top right there. Something's odd about this one. Maybe she had it. Like, you could just tell. Not playing with a full deck, elevator can go to the top. She gonna snap on whoever for whatever reason. So, I'm trying not to give it a lot of away. I mean, it's a well-known story. I've actually watched a little reel or a TikTok about it a while back. So, she got with this dude and promised him that, hey, my family's got this money and then I'm getting it as inheritance and let's going to buy this $4 million ranch for you. Let's get a $100,000 truck, $20,000 side-by-side and buy your mama a car. Then 3 weeks later, tell your mama, hey, I need that car back because there's a recall and they're going to fix it. And then the lady calls back 3 weeks later, calls the dealership and they're like, hey, was my car ready? What are you talking about? Your car's been repoed because of non-payment. And then just lying about everything. And then she tells her old boy she's pregnant. And then her former friends see the post on Facebook. Why is this chick saying she's pregnant? She's had a hysterectomy. And then they're trying to, they really can't warn the people because they don't know them. And then some girl does some digging and she tells the dude, hey man, she's had a hysterectomy. And he's like, no, she wouldn't lie about that. So she buys a silicone belly to show she's pregnant. And then she misses her due date. And then she's 10 months pregnant. And then she tricks her boyfriend into going out of town to deliver some hogs. So then she drives to the hospital, but she makes a pit stop at old girl's house, takes the baby out of her stomach and drives to the dang hospital with it. And then gets pulled over and then says, yes, I had this baby. And she didn't have that baby. The audacity of this woman to do all of these things in an hour and a half on the show was mind-boggling. Now, granted, I've been by myself this week, so I didn't have anybody to go, oh my God, can you believe that? So I'm literally speechless in my head going, oh my God, can you believe that? Have you ever seen someone who was that crazy? The answer is yes, I have right now. I see her. Guys, if any of that stuff makes you queasy, makes you sick, makes you sad, do not watch it. If you can stand it, watch it. It is unbelievable at the amount of lies and the deceit and basically the catfishing this woman does. It is insane. And there are so many other stories that I didn't even touch the surface of that you're like, I cannot believe she did that. It is absolutely wild. Completely wild. Never in my life. I saw something on the TikTok or the Reels or something, and about, oh my God, this woman's got me triggered. This, I'm like, all right, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna see what's going on with it. Oh, child. See, Stephen, you saw it too, bro. It's horrible. I mean, she is a horrible person. I could not fathom what this lady did. Like, oh my God. And she had 2 other kids and didn't even take care of them. And then go say she's pregnant when she's done that. She done had the parts taken out. She done had the ovary delete. Like, my God, man. And it's crazy. Once you watch some of these other documentaries on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, whatever, and you see these documentaries, you're like, all right, ain't nothing can top this one. There's nothing that can top that one. That was the craziest one. No, that just lets you go. We live in a crazy society. And it's not just documentaries here. It's some in Europe and Asia and stuff like that. I've seen some foreign ones that are just like, wow, they act like we do, or we act like they do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just an American thing. It's everywhere. It's nuts. But that was one of the more shocking ones, we'll say. So give it a shot. That's my lunchtime theory for this week. Other than that, man, it's been World Cup. Watched the race. I did go to Derek's house last night, and we did a little racing, and we got absolutely smoked online by a kid that works for him on F1 racing. This kid's using a controller. We're using a steering wheel with pedals that have brake pressure on them. And he is smoking us by 12 seconds. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, man, I quit. So that's what the lunchtime theater is. I haven't done much. I haven't even been taking lunch, and I've been so busy in the evening time, I hadn't got to watch much. But I did watch that one, and woohoo, boy, is it doozy. So that's what we're watching. If you got any recommendations of new stuff on Netflix, shoot them to me. I'd like to see what y'all been watching. That way I can get some ideas for some other stuff coming up. All right, take another break. We come back. We got Joe's of the Week. And if you're not following this one, you really ought to. It's this dude's hilarious. Hilarious. And he's an equal opportunity hilarious guy. Hey, he picks on everybody. It's fantastic. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. It's episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out, Studio 11, talking some smack. Man, just been music, sports. Got some suggestions here from Mr. Stephen Hargrove, Tooth Grinder. Then Charlie said they listen to Take No Prisoners. And was talking about racing. And Stephen Hargrove, he says here on the Facebook live feed, asked Derek about go-karts. I think I got him. Way ahead of you, Stephen. Done heard about that one. Heard you found a little spot over there had a little you found some traction. You moved that cart around the track, found some traction, took away from him. So I won't have to go with you guys next time. I hear it's a blast, dude. Here it is a blast. Glad y'all got to go, and I'm glad y'all got to hang out and spend some time together for sure. All right, Joes of the week. This guy just came across Facebook Reel one evening. Just mindlessly scrolling, what they call it, doom scrolling. His handle is Lil Shirley's Boy. LIL_Shirley's_boy. Now, he's a cat out of Memphis. He does his videos outside by a road, and he talks to an imaginary friend. Bro, get it? Do it all the time. And he's a Tennessee sports fan. He's wears Memphis Grizzly gear, Predators, Titans. So he's a Tennessee guy. Like I said, he's in Memphis. And he'll start out, hey, I ain't heard from white people all day. Wonder what they up to. And then there's just an absurd video of a white person doing something just ridiculous. And then he comments on it and has a conversation with his buddy, and he calls all the white guys Scooter. Freaking hilarious. Well, then the next day he'll come up, hey, I ain't heard from black people all day. I wonder what they're doing. And then he has a video of a black person doing something utterly ridiculous, and he's like, nah, we ain't allowing that. We don't do that. And then he goes on a little spiel. And then the next video is about, a Mexican or a Chinese. So he's doing what me and Josh Prey had a conversation, and Jordan B., another comedian I've got the pleasure of hanging out with the past month or so, is there's similarities between all races and backgrounds, and they're more than we think. We think just because, he's Japanese and that guy over there is Mexican and this lady is white and this lady's black, that we're all our skin color is different, our DNA is different. And some of the stuff we do is different, but there's so many similarities of what all of them we all do, and we all have our niches of what we do. We don't season food enough, apparently. Sometimes it's true. Not me. I season the crap out of it, and I don't like ranch dressing. So the similarities of what he's showing, sometimes the differences are funny. But so are the similarities, because you're like, oh, yeah, well, that Mexican dude I've done that before. Or you say black, yeah, I've done that before. So I think that it's funny because we are different, but then the similarities are there, and we tend to kind of look past them sometimes because we're different, because we look different, or, what have you, we speak different languages. But we're pretty much, it comes down to it, that's the normal guys, not the top percent people. We're pretty close to the same. And it's so funny, especially how he presents it and his conversation with his imaginary friend. It's freaking hilarious. Go check him out. Little Shirley's Boy. He's on Facebook. He's on TikTok as Lil_Shirley's_boy_. Hilarious. He makes content all the time. He's got 1.1 million followers. I don't know if he will, but I'm going to see if I can Zoom him and get him on here, just to talk to him, because he's real as they come. He's very funny. He's not, and that's the thing, like, he gets a lot of hate comments and stuff. He's not offensive. He's not being mean. He's not being rude. He's being funny. He's just pointing out the obvious. Like, it is, I've never once thought, when he said something about a white person, Mexican person, I never once thought, man, that was mean. That was rude. Oh, I wouldn't have said that. It's all like, man, that's funny. If funny's funny. And he seems like a nice, genuine guy. So give him a follow. He's on the Facebook. He's on the TikTok. Little Shirley's Boy. He is Joe of the Week. You will not be disappointed by this man's content. I guarantee it. You will definitely enjoy it. All right, guys, take another break. We come back. I've got to make up a segment because I skipped ahead and stole my last segment to talk to the guys about it. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck, episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out Studio 11, talking some smack to myself, having a good time. I'm winning the smack talk contest. So, stole my segment. I got another one. I have been watching a lot of these. As you well know, I'm a semi-picky eater, okay? I'm not picky about where I eat. I'm picky about what I eat. I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like lettuce unless it's a salad. I don't want lettuce on my chicken sandwich, on my hamburger, nothing. I don't like peppers. I don't like onions. I don't like yellow mustard. I like spicy brown mustard. I like stone ground mustard, not regular yellow. I hate salad dressing. Caesar dressing only on my salad. Just weird. I don't like yams. Don't like sweet potatoes. Okay, I like green beans. I like broccoli. I like cauliflower. All this other stuff. I don't like chili. And I'm not trying your chili. Don't try it. I don't like watermelon. Watermelon, and we did the Mount Rushmore of summertime foods here the past couple episodes. And we've got some good answers. And I agree with a lot of them. They are summertime foods. Not for me, though. Not for me. Mine was hamburger, hot dogs all in one. Baked beans, homemade ice cream, beer. Watermelon is on a lot of folks. I don't like watermelon. But I've been seeing so many, I don't know how it got my algorithm on Facebook. So many recipes and health benefits of watermelon here lately. Like, I knew it's a fruit, it's healthy for you, it comes to the ground, naturally sweet. Megan absolutely loves watermelon. Now, if I'm starving to death and there's watermelon, I'll eat it. If I'm eating a fruit salad or whatever, mixed fruit, and I accidentally pick up a piece of watermelon, I'm not going to gag. I'm not going to complain. I just don't seek watermelon out. But there's some recipes. There's one, and you blend like olive oil and watermelon in a blender and make like a smoothie. And there's another ingredient. I don't remember what it was. So I'm watching, and I can't, their name escapes me at the moment. But they do these cooking. They'll find recipes that has a lot of views on it, and then they'll cook it in their kitchen. Usually it's a really simple, easy recipe. Well, I guess I watched that one now. I'm just filled with so many watermelon recipes that I'm like, I'm down to try them now. I have saved them all. I'm ready to try them. Like I seen one, she took the rind, not the green part, not the outer shell, but she took and skinned it, took the green part off, and then the white part, the rind, cut it, put it in a blender, made like a little smoothie with that, and it's supposed to have so much health benefits with it. And I'm like, okay, well now I got to try it because I've never really ate that part of the watermelon because I thought you're not supposed to eat that part. And I guess it's blended possibly with an additive of what have you would be okay. So I'm in. What kind of crazy recipes have you guys been seeing on TikTok, on Facebook Reels, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot? My feed's just been full of them. I saw this one, and it seems like a semi not too bad for you option for cheesecake. So you take a little container of Greek yogurt, just I guess plain or vanilla Greek yogurt. You take the lid off, and you take those little biscotti chips, whatever they're called, or chips, cookies, and you stick just how many ever in, 6, 8, whatever. You put the lid on the Greek yogurt. You put it in the refrigerator for like 2 hours or something like that. And then you take it out and you eat it, and those biscotti chips, I keep calling them chips, cookies, they soften from the Greek yogurt and the temperature of the refrigerator. So they become soft. So when you just stick your spoon into the container of the Greek yogurt, it's real. It doesn't like break apart. It just smoothly comes off, and it tastes like a cheesecake. Baby, I'm in. And they did an Oreo one, and then they did a strawberry one. Strawberry. Well, they cut up some fresh strawberries in there, and they actually crumble some graham crackers in there as well to make like the crust or what have you. And they said it was fantastic. I got to try these, like, and because Greek yogurt's predominantly healthy for you. The biscotti cookies may have a little bit of sugar in them. I'm a diabetic, so I got to watch the sugar now. But they don't look as sugar. They don't look very sugary, so they might not be. So it just looks like a nice little, not as bad for you treat, a do-gooder treat, if you will. So I think that's neat. The watermelon thing's got it, and I saw this one before we come on air this evening. Excuse me. It was, you take, I think it was 12 hard-boiled eggs peeled, put them in a blender, like half a cup of milk, 2 cups of cacao, a little bit of salt. I saved it, and there's one other ingredient. And you blend it. Put it in the fridge, let it set up, and it turns into a chocolate mousse. And you can't taste the eggs. I don't know about that. I love hard-boiled eggs. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm willing to try it. But I just don't know about that. I don't. You're putting in hard-boiled eggs with cacao and coconut. They used coconut sugar is what they used. That was the other ingredient. Like half cup, something like that. I don't know, man. How you going to put chocolate and hard-boiled eggs into the same blender and then eat it with a straight face? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that just sounds terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm too keen on that. But I'm willing to try it. So, I'm interested in some of these other recipes, these little healthier recipes. I've seen some homemade Coca-Colas. I've seen homemade brownies that were made out of, they just took dark chocolate chips, melted them, and then put like half a cup of applesauce in it, mixed it up, baked it, poured more chocolate on top, like the dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is a little bit better for you than like milk chocolate. And then put it in the refrigerator, let it set up, and they broke it apart, and it looked like a real brownie. But if you look at it close, you can kind of see the applesauce texture going on, but it gave a brownie look to it. And then they ate it, and they're like, "Oh my God, this was like one of the best brownies I ever ate." I'm down to try that too. Like, it sounds weird, but dude, I'm in. I want to find out some of these other odd recipes that people have been messing with, and how are these people coming up with this stuff? I think that's one reason why Tennessee is repealing this THC law. Because people are getting way too high and making up recipes. And there's been a bad recipe somewhere that has triggered someone or got someone sick, and they're like, this is it, we're done. Like, there's been some good recipes come out of people that smoke the devil's lettuce. One of the best ones I ever had, some guy gave to me, because I do not partake in the devil's lettuce. It was a Frito sandwich. Take 2 pieces of just regular white bread, put some Fritos on it, put the other piece of bread on top of that, and eat it. You're eating Fritos between 2 pieces of bread. Fantastic. Some psychopaths put mayonnaise on it, but they don't know any better. So there's been some good come out of this. But I think that's why they repealed it. Some bad recipes have come out because of THC, and they're like, we got to stop this. Tennessee, y'all have done it now. I don't know what y'all are doing down there, but this ain't it. So, I don't know. So what you got? You guys got any recipes? Throw them in the comments. Throw us a note for me to try. I'll have to make sure Megan's here to supervise me. I'm just kidding. I can cook. I can do it. But I want her to be here to try it and her to tell me this is stupid and dumb, because they all look stupid and dumb. Another one. They used ice cream to make bread. Saying it out loud sounds dumb. You just take quart of ice cream, melt it, You put like half a cup or a cup of self-rising flour. What's up, Sam? What are you doing? You put a cup of like self-rising flour in there, and there's something else. I don't remember what it was. You put it in the oven, 350 for 45 minutes or whatever. Come out, boom, it's bread. Okay, so if you look at the ingredients on ice cream, or you know what goes in ice cream, it makes sense. You got milk, you got eggs, you got sugar. So you've got the components of bread. It's already in there. You skip all those other steps. You just put the ice cream, melt it, throw, it's whatever flavor ice cream you want. If you want coffee ice cream, if you want banana, if you want chocolate, rocky, whatever. Just put it in there, throw some flour, mix it up, boom. It makes sense when you realize, oh, the ingredients of ice cream has all the ingredients of bread except for the flour. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try that one. It's got to be fire. I've seen 2 people do it on the line, and they said it was pretty fire. I'll report back with my findings. All right, man. Good to see you, Steven. Thanks for watching here on the Facebook Live feed. We appreciate you, brother. Have a good evening. We'll go hook up and go to that go-kart track there in Cheville very soon. Very soon. So, if you got some crazy recipes thrown my way, I'm going to try them out. I love eating weird foods that are, you normally wouldn't try. Just because they sound weird, I like trying it out. No mayonnaise. And don't be like some people that have made biscuits that has mayonnaise in them and then feed them to me and then laugh because they have mayonnaise in it. I don't know. No, Sam, you cannot have my cocktails, my cocktails and dream shirt. Absolutely not. I've had this for too long. All right. We're going to take our last break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. You're listening to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. All right, guys, welcome back to the Everyday Joe Show, brewed by the Common John Brewing Company here on 93.9 The Duck. It's episode 416. Me, the Travis Reed, hanging out Studio 11, talking smack to you guys, calling people out. We'll go back down the list. I've called out the Miami Marlins and the Pittsburgh Pirates for taking their pitchers out of the game when they are on the cusp of a perfect game. One of the most rarest feats in Major League Baseball's history. And they take them out. One of them I get, you just come off of elbow surgery. My question to you is, why is he in a Major League Baseball game if he's only throwing 77 pitches? Put him in the bullpen. Keep him down in the minors until he gets better. I don't know what you're thinking. The other guy, just come off an injury, little sus. That was stupid. You read some analytics that said take him out. You're a moron. Don't do that again. You are killing baseball. Stop it. There are only 8 batters in Major League Baseball right now that are hitting over 300. Absolutely pathetic. We got to do better. I can't do any better though, so I'm sorry. I've called out the WNBA. Y'all just dumb. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous for the players to vote Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard in the WNBA. Quit being jealous. Play her hard. Play her tough. Quit being big babies about it. Like, you are chopping your nose off, spite your face. You're stepping on your own. You are becoming the downfall of your league. You are the reason there's so much a negative aura around the WNBA. It ain't just the players, it's the commissioner too. And I don't remember what it was, but I talked smack about her about a year or 2 ago. You are the reason why this is happening. That is ridiculous. "21 points, 8 assists per game, and you call her the 11th best guard in the the WNBA. You're a joke. It is a complete joke. All right, we've called out soccer players are soft. Soccer players are some of the best athletes in the world. Their training is almost pretty much unmatched. Their cardio is ridiculous. It's better than a boxer. It's better than an MMA fighter because they got some crazy cardio. Soccer players are crazy, but you're soft. Quit flopping. You're making a mockery of the sport. You're teaching young kids bad habits. Then all we're going to do is have a bunch of people on a pitch here in about 20 years. The whole thing is one guy's going to kick the ball. The rest of the players on the field are going to flop around like dead fish or fish out of water. It's stupid. NBA players, quit flopping like fish out of water. Got it right that time. You're making them up. That's all we're going to have is people flopping. And NBA trying to change this rule about free throws and getting more points for it, knock that off. That is the most asinine, stupid thing I've ever heard. That's even worse than stage breaks in NASCAR. Stupid. It makes 0 sense. Actually, 0 sense, man. Come on. We did not talk smack about Common John Brewing Company. We ask you to go down there. 210 Woodbury Highway. They got single on Wednesday nights. They got karaoke on Thursdays. Nothing planned for this Friday, this past Friday. Comedy show going on right now at the Common John Brewing Company. We did Lunchtime Theater, Maternal Instinct. My goodness, you need to watch it. It's horrible. That lady is a terrible person. Joe of the Week was Little Shirley's Boy on Facebook. Super hilarious guy. Got some great content on there. 1.1 million followers. Congratulations to that man. He is killing it. Good job. Good on you, sir. Appreciate the work you do every day. It's not easy doing videos and stuff. It's not physically hard, but it's mentally taxing and demanding sometimes. So good on you. We debated which sport league has the best athletes. Mine soccer, NHL, WWE. That's for me. That's the ones right there. They're all hard. They all have different training, different mindsets. But those three, as far as athletes, that's my opinion, my professional opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, I am a professional. If you know what I mean. I'm really not professional. I don't do anything professionally. I'm a professional parts person. No, I'm not anymore. I'll cut that part out. That was terrible. I didn't mean it like that. I promise, don't fire me. Let's see. What else did we talk about? What else did I go off on? I think that's about it, really. We did debate, what was your heavy metal rock anthem? I agree. I asked Bradley Ramsey earlier today. He said Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Completely agree. My daughter said for her generation it was Enter Sandman. Completely agree. Stephen Hargrove, he said Tooth Grinder, The Shadows. That was him. Charlie Jones. He's master of puppets, Hangar 18 kind of guy. Really like those are good songs, good anthems to introduce people into the hard rock heavy metal. Ben, why is there a fake? You heard me say it, didn't you? I'm gonna get fired tomorrow, aren't I? I said it without knowing. I forgot that was a saying. I actually forgot it. I'm sorry. But it's okay because somebody's spending $10 billion to get us back. It ain't going to work, but they're trying. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. And also the, Sam, you got to give me that flyer so I can repub y'all's event. The event that I talked about last week that's going on July 11th on today, as you're listening to the radio, was rescheduled to a later date, August 1st, because of pending flooding that we got coming on. It's going to flood. Going to flood. Ha! Just did, Sam. Got you. Sam asked me on the Facebook Live feed because I say something about the benefit being canceled. Just did. So we'll have those updated for you next week for Sam and her club's benefit. We'll have all particulars, where to go, what to do, all that jazz. All right. Let's wrap this thing up and go to the house. Appreciate you guys listening. I learned some stuff today. Before we go, my cousin, old Clint Reed there in Vegas, what I think about NBA in Vegas. Vegas NBA. I think sport. I mentioned this before. I think professional sports teams in Vegas is a great idea. I've always thought it would be a great sports town because you don't have shortage of fans. You don't have shortage of, I don't want to say customers, because it's always busy in Vegas. There's always people there. There's always a bunch of people there. So I don't think you're ever going to have to worry about not having a sellout, even not from the local crowd. You got the outsiders coming in, and maybe they become a fan of that team and they buy the merch, and then next time because some people that go to Vegas a couple times a year, once every year, and maybe they'll come back and catch a game. I think it's great. Vegas has professional sports teams now. I think it's fantastic. It should be done. You go where the people are. People are always in Vegas. Always. They'll always be in Vegas. That's where the people are. Build it and they will come. There you go. Thank you, Katie. All right, man, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Go to the house. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, like, share, follow, much as you possibly can. We really appreciate it. Get this out to as many eyes as possible. If you have a business that you want to be featured on the show, you can DM me about sponsorship opportunities. There are plenty available. Keep listening to us. Keep sharing. Got a lot of stuff coming. We got some comedians coming on soon. Some more musicians. May have a returning musician, a big time musician coming back on soon. So y'all stay tuned for that. We got to work around his busy schedule, but we'll get him back on here soon.